Bravo! You did surprisingly well on Arrakis. But there is much more to learn about the barren spice planet. There is a native population. They are called Fremen, a desert people. Wanderers that wear water reclamation units called still suits. They are of little use to us, but they can be very dangerous. We must also consider the Imperial Sardaukar. They were born to serve an emperor. Without one, they have no purpose. They may prove to be of great value. Even as we speak, they travel to Arrakis. They will support the house that proves to be the strongest. Of course, that will be House Harkonnen. You would do well to seek an alliance with them as soon as possible.
This is what passes for a Harkonnen military commander? I fear my father is losing his senses.
Our father chose this one to lead our forces on Arrakis. The Book of Fate speaks of a single fire slug bringing defeat upon an entire horde of Anthrok. Appearances can be deceiving.
And optimism clouds judgment.
We shall see soon enough.
Ha!
When he and the Mentat return to Arrakis, I shall go with them to oversee the spice mining.
You? Why should you go? I am the oldest.
My father requests it.
Then he has lost his senses.
The Mentat will continue to oversee you. If you prove ineffective, you witness the fate of our last commander.
So what? I am to remain here on Gedi Prime? Draining the Baron's pustules? Wiping the spittle from his innumerable chins?
Study your charm film book, brother.
You insolent... I shall be Baron soon. Perhaps even Emperor. Then you'll pay for your disrespect, baby brother.
Abject terror consumes me.
Do be careful on Arrakis. A knife in the back can come from any hand. Perhaps even a trusted one.
Doubtless you've heard the ancient expression, trust him like a brother. These two give the phrase an entirely new subtext. Blood will be shed before their private war is over. If you get between them, that blood will be yours. In the meantime, you will continue to capture territories. The Baron's spice must flow.
Yeah, I didn't really thought about this, but just the other were also the Mentat has magnificent eyebrows, but a Mentat is basically, this is in a world where war against Skynet has basically happened already, or intelligence thinking machines. So as a consequence, no such artificial intelligences can be built anymore. But in order to compensate for that, there are human computers to an extent, and they drink a sort of a chemical that colors their area around their mouth red, and they function as basically a human computer, and they're used as service for all the influential people. There is technology, very high technology in the universe, but there's just not the artificial intelligence type of machinery is not allowed. It can be produced, but it's basically a jihad will be declared against anyone who does. Humans are justifiably, properly afraid and hate artificial intelligences in this universe. This runs way too fast. Okay, this is one of the important aspects of this game. You can choose where you attack next, and this area of the map, for example, that I'm targeting now, is always the same. If there's multiple paths in this map, the map is the same, and even if I attack here now and have to defend it later, some of the buildings that I built there when I attack will be there when I have to defend. So I like that very much, because sort of gives more consequence and importance how you defeat the enemy on your first try or attack on the map. You have to, well, you don't have to, but you can give consideration to additional facilities. Maybe how are you going to defend it, and if you are smart about it and build properly, if you have to defend it, you can end the defense mission in minutes instead of wasting a lot of time doing there because you were unprepared. There's also reinforcements coming from surrounding regions. So for here example, I would get reinforcements from 2 regions, while the Atreides would get reinforcements from 4 regions. So in a way, time would be working against me in that sense. The reinforcements you'll get in something between few minutes between reinforcements, and you'll just get 3 units. 3 units every few minutes. So you can manipulate. If you have one tough area you want to attack, you can surround it with your own areas, and then basically all you have to do is hold it for a while, and the 3 units you'll gain will be more than enough to finish it off. All kind of cool little things like that. So I do appreciate it. It's not just a map where you pick your next mission and it proceeds in a very linear manner. Although if you don't lose anything, it probably does something very similar. But it does affect. Okay, there's a sandstorm in this region. I think that means I won't be able to attack it, and he won't be able to bring reinforcements out of there. I'm not sure about the reinforcement part. We want to attack Ordos or Atreides. That's our main choice here. There's also a little side mission usually when you first attack the region. Here it is. There's a Fremen camp in the region, so something to do with Fremen. There's a standard base here, so probably nothing. Elite Sardaukar troops have been reported in this region, so this is probably a good place to go if I want to get an alliance with Sardaukar. Refugee civilians are escaping Harkonnen rule through its territory, so probably we need to attack some kind of neutral party very soon after starting this mission. I think I'll go with Sardaukar. I'll try to force an alliance with them very soon. It means that if we can get the alliance, I can produce Sardaukar infantry, and while expensive and still infantry, they are much better than most of the normal infantry. So let's try this. Mushtamal Ridge, Elite Sardaukar troops. Occupied by Order's forces, a strong attacker. We have no data on installations in this area. This area is currently uncharted. Attack.
Our intelligence reports that Sardaukar forces are on their way to this region. Invariably, the Sardaukar give their loyalty to the strongest party in any conflict. These Imperial elite will test our strength through combat. Only after they have suffered at our hands will they deem us worthy of support and join us against our enemies. A show of weakness here will spell disaster. The Sardaukar will join our enemy in battle. You must gain their loyalty if we are to gain control of this region.
Yeah, let's take the new troops so this button does stops.
Engineers can enter and capture enemy buildings. Unlike the engineers of other houses, Harkonnen engineers are armed with a pistol for self-defense. A powerful gun mounted on a fixed turret. It is heavily armored, but comparatively slow.
Assault tank. Yeah. Now the button stops flashing like very annoyingly. Okay, Orders gains 4 reinforcements. Every reinforcement cycle we get 1. It doesn't mean the number of units. It's usually can be some weak unit, few infantry units, things like that. So a single reinforcement is basically almost nothing. We just need to kill a ton of orders. This shouldn't be too tough. We are still at the early stages of the game, so we don't have access to all the annoying in it. The text is basically same as there was mission.
The Sardaukar have come to test our strength. A squad of Sardaukar troopers is on the attack. Defeat them, and the Sardaukar will gain respect for House Harkonnen. You must not allow this dilemma to threaten our conquest of this region.
At once. At once. MCV standing by. Your command. Yes. At once.
Yeah, mobile construction vehicle, few tanks,
At once.
light attack vehicle, couple of infantry.
Reporting.
What are you?
New construction options are now
At
available.
once. At once.
Construction started.
Ready to roll. On the move. Chop chop. Saws engaged. Saws engaged.
You want to
Building
Saws
ready to
engaged.
place.
reconnaissance an area as soon as possible.
Ready to roll. Chop.
Construction
Cutting
options
loose.
are
On the
now
move.
available.
On the move.
That's the start of car.
Prepared. Of course. Ready to roll. Chop. Cutting loose. Ready. No surrender. No surrender.
You can find.
Ready to place.
Surrender.
This is another feature I like quite a lot about this game.
Construction started.
It favors
Cancelled.
aggressive gameplay by quite significantly.
Ready. No
Sardaukar elites.
surrender. Ready to roll.
These are money rewards and unit rewards can be gained by simply exploring an area.
Reporting.
So if you passively do a turtle up in your base,
Engines
the enemy can
engaged.
gain a huge advantage over you, even by very weak units, by simply exploring around a bit.
Thunder. As you command.
Building ready to place. New construction options are now available. Construction started.
We can expand the
On the move.
spice refinery.
As you command.
It can hold up to three
Building ready to place.
harvesters.
Construction started.
Report. As you command. Engines engaged. Metal on the move. Engines
Building ready
engaged.
to place.
Metal on the move. They died.
There's
quickly.
it's a wreck harvester. We can probably get free spice from
Engines
this.
engaged. Engines engaged. As you command. Engines engaged. Metal on the move.
The Sardaukar will attack soon. Prepare your
Shit.
forces, Commander.
That's a problem.
As you command. Metal on the move. Rolling thunder.
We need something that can destroy infantry,
Metal on the move.
and I don't mean just kill it, I mean annihilate it
Rolling
totally.
thunder. As you command.
Sardaukar infantry is strong.
Engines
We
engaged.
can't. Shit.
Hail, Harkonnen. We come to test your worthiness in battle.
Shit. We're going to try to plow them over.
Yes. At once. Yes. At once. Yes.
Worm sign.
Ooh, crap.
Building ready to place.
At once. At once. At once. Soldiers of House Harkonnen, prepare to die a warrior's death. You may be worthy of Sardaukar. We declare a truce until we have tested the strength of your enemies. At once.
Ooh. We killed enough of them.
New construction options are now available. Upgrading building. Construction
Buzzsaw.
started.
Radar indicates another force of Sardaukar on its way to this area.
Power, Commander.
Continue with your assault on the enemy base.
Some power tools. Saws engaged.
Construction started.
We need to build infantry barracks.
Roll. Saws engaged.
Even if we don't intend to build too much infantry, it opens up some construction options.
We are now ready to test the strength of your enemy. Engines engaged. Metal on the move.
Building ready to place. Reinforcements are approaching.
Reinforcements are approaching.
Construction started. Reinforcements have arrived.
Ooh, quite a nice
Construction
reinforcement.
options are now available.
At once.
Yes,
Training.
scouts are good.
Training.
Cheap way to reveal area.
Construction
Just
started.
lurking about.
Training.
Understood. What? As you wish.
Construction started.
Is when they don't move, they're invisible.
Building
Men
ready
on
to
the move.
place. Construction started.
The Sardaukar are quite impressed with our performance. They wish to ally with us. The Sardaukar are sending reinforcements, Commander.
Construction started.
Men on the move. Yes. At once. Reporting. As you wish. Reporting.
Building ready to place.
I'm not going to even try to end this mission until I've scouted things out first. If I have to defend this, I want to be able to
Construction started.
Enemy
see.
reinforcements are approaching.
That's fine. We have a strong group here.
Yes.
Let's go with group 2.
Building ready to place.
What? Let's get a closer look. Let's get a closer look. Let's get a closer look.
The
As you wish.
bonus locations on the map, like this destroyed harvester or whatever it is, that provides us with additional income, will respawn if there's another mission here. So
Construction
being
started.
able to see the area in a mission you about to do is extremely valuable.
Engines engaged.
Building ready to place.
I want a couple of defensive flamethrower turrets. But they have poison gas troopers.
Building ready to place.
These aren't a huge defense, but there's something.
Construction
Tanks.
started.
We don't really need extra money. I just want to reveal areas.
Just lurking about. Let's get a closer look.
Worm sign.
Ooh, there are
What? At once.
these natural disasters or
Let's get a closer look. Understood.
Attack.
weather, worms, things like that will damage you.
Yes.
To damage your buildings.
Yes. Understood.
Yeah, our infantry is within the storm here. Is dead.
Reporting.
Construction started.
Understood. At once.
Run, you fool!
At once.
We'll be destroying the enemy soon.
Understood.
Take
Yes.
the Sardaukar here.
At once.
I just want to look around a bit.
At once. Reporting. Let's get a closer look.
Construction started.
Yes. At once.
Yeah, a couple of extra Sardaukar.
Yes.
The enemy
Understood.
attack strength seems fairly weak.
Understood.
He has a lot of infantry.
Just lurking about. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once.
Construction
I
started.
also like the fact that infantry in this game is very useful.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Usually, in the at least many of the Dune games, it's basically just something you run over with your tanks and it's worthless. Here it's extremely valuable, and there are locations that
Construction started.
the enemy tanks can't reach, which is common in these games, but because the infantry is actually useful, they're
Worm sign.
very hard pressed to try to dislodge a good infantry in their defensive positions.
Construction started.
We don't have a lot of units, but even these should be enough
Spice
to
harvester under attack.
handle the enemy.
At once. Attack. At once.
Construction started.
Ready to rumble. Attack. Attack. Attack.
We'll leave the structure shooting the tanks. Yeah, this is over. We'll use the
Construction started.
infantry as a base to kill everything. All the units.
Reinforcements are approaching. Construction started. Reinforcements have arrived. Construction started.
Yeah, the enemy is getting reinforcements too. Won't matter much.
Construction started.
We've killed their construction yard, we've killed their unit production facilities. There goes the factory. They can retreat from this area now, because they can possibly win this fight. But they've lost this. And we gained alliance with the Sarkar.
Victory is yours.
Well fought, Commander. I'm certain that the Sadukar are impressed by your display of military might. Their aid will be useful. When our Baron is crowned Emperor, they will serve him without question.
I also like the fact also that the missions don't last too long. In a lot of the previous games, missions are few, but they last a ton of time. Here, missions are more numerous, but most of them are something like 10 to 20 minutes, unless things. But there are exceptional missions, like attacking an enemy homeworld or something like that. Might take a lot longer, but it's a good enough fast-paced short missions that you don't get too bogged down, but it still has a few of those meeting missions that are much more of a heavy, long slug phase, where the enemy has all the advantages and you sort of have to gather your strength and slowly try to push things into your advantage. I haven't talked about Harkonnen army. All armies, or those Harkonnen Atreides, are different, very different in fact. Our advantage is that our units will perform at their best no matter how damaged they are. I think that's our thing. Ordos has shields and very fast mobile units. The shield regenerates, but once you get damaged, once the shield collapses, their units performance drops to a fragment of what it is. Their fast movement stops to a crawl, they don't perform all that well, and they go down quite quickly. Atreides, I'm not quite sure what they have especially. They have a good selection of units, they even have repair vehicles, things like that, but I can't really point to one thing and say that's their thing. Harkonnen, very attack focused. You can always do maximum performance, maximum damage, no matter how damage we do. And our units are very heavily attack focused. They're not intended to be repaired after you use them. You're supposed to push forward. We have decent mobility, decent damage, so aggressive mobile tactics are, at least I would favor here. Orders can do fast strikes, they have the fastest units, they have hover units, but they also have defensive units, so they can just hunker down and create a defensive line. But Atreides is probably they don't really have a fast attack units, but they're the most heavily entrenched. So if an Atreides can entrench a location, it's very hard to get through. They have all kinds of artillery and missile defense systems and infantry and anti-tank infantry, snipers, things like that. So it's a huge pain in the ass to try to break through their defenses unless you have something very, very significant to throw their way. But yeah. Our first proper mission, and it seems we might have allied with the Sardaukar. So, good start for us.